What's up guys, my name is Martyr and today I'm going to do a Nightmare Clan Boss Dream Team video. I'm going to show you the champions that I think sell the best in the Nightmare Clan Boss. This team also applies to Ultra Nightmare. I picked to do Nightmare based on the clip I'm going to show you, how long it was, and the content I have to give you. Everything just aligned really well. So let's get right into it without wasting any time. So the first champion I want to talk about is Alton. I use him as my leader due to having a 33% increased defense in all battles. A1, he provides the attack down. A2, increased defense, also placing a shield buff on allies, which I won't need, but we'll get into that later. The gear I'm using on him: an HP ring, crit damage necklace, accuracy banner, crit damage gloves, defense chest, and defense boots. Total stats are as follows: 43,000 health, 4,600 defense, 170 speed, 90% crit rate, 230% crit damage, and 250 accuracy. All of my champions are currently geared for Ultra Nightmare, however I'm doing this test in Nightmare as stated earlier. The next champion in this list is Draco. Everyone knows about Draco, we love him. He is probably the best clan boss champion in the game because of his kit and what he has to offer. He applies 4 poisons to the boss, 5%, 100% chance to land based on you having enough accuracy, and they last for 3 turns as far as duration goes. The A1 hits very hard, so that's an awesome plus. His A3 is a weaken and decrease defense on a 3-turn cooldown. These are the stats I'm running with him: 34,600 health, 4,000 defense, 3,500 attack, 178 speed, 45% crit rate. I would really like to have him at 100, but I don't have the gear to do it at the moment. 197% crit damage, 254 accuracy. These are the masteries I chose to put on Draco. Unfortunately, these masteries are for the unkillable comp. I did not change it before making this video like I should have. As you can see on the screen, I'm using a picture from Raid Bro. These are the recommended mastery paths that I suggest. The gear Draco is using is a 2-piece immortal set, 2-piece cruel set, and a 2-piece speed set. On the jewelry, we have attack ring, crit damage neck, accuracy banner. As far as main gear, we have defense gloves, defense chest, and defense boots. The next champion in my roster is Valkyrie. She provides a decently hitting A1, but the real benefit to her kit is the A2. Attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns, and a counterattack buff on all allies for 2 turns. The value of shield and the damage inflicted are proportional to this champion's defense. As far as gearing, I put her in 2 immortal sets and 1 speed set. On the ring, we have defense main stat, defense neck piece, and defense banner, followed by, as you could guess, defense gloves, defense chest, and a defense boots. Her total stats are as follows: 40,000 health, 7,300 defense, 172 speed, 58 crit, 93 crit damage. The other stats do not matter as she has no debuffs. These are the masteries I chose. I did not finish her masteries either. It would only be a small increase to damage had I finished the mastery, so that I wasn't too worried about. This is the mastery tree I chose to put on her. The next champion in my roster is Martyr. She also has a defense aura, however, I chose not to use her as the leader because I'd prefer Alton to get stunned over someone who has potential to counterattack. Her A1 has a 45 chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff. She has an increased defense and counterattack 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Her A3 attacks all enemies, places a decreased attack, and provoke. Obviously, provoke doesn't apply to the clan boss. The gear sets I used on her were a speed set, critical rate set, and an immortal set. For gloves, we have crit damage, accuracy chest, speed boots. For ring, we have defense main stat, crit damage main stat on the neck, and defense on the banner. Total stats are as follows: 43,000 health, 4,300 defense, 171 speed, 93% crit rate, 226% crit damage, and 251 accuracy. The final champion in my roster is Lucan the Steadfast. Lucan is not as commonly used as I would personally like to see. As you will see from this video and this run so far, he is a better healer than Bad L. He's more consistent than Bad L. He doesn't have the poisons, but I will show you he can also do a significant amount of damage. He is currently wearing 2 immortal sets and 1 broken set. The stats on Lucan are crit damage gloves, HP % chest, speed boots, defense ring, crit damage necklace, and defense cloak. His skills are his A1 heals all allies by 25% of the damage inflicted, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 10% of their max health for 2 turns. A2 places a 60% increased defense buff on this champion 3 turns. Also places a 50% ally protection on all allies for 2 turns. This is a 4-turn cooldown, so it isn't the optimal 3-turn cooldown, but it is still strong. His A3 attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing block. Cooldown skills does not affect the clan boss at all. This is the mastery tree I chose to go with him. He is another champion that I didn't finish masteries for, as the impact would be very small, and I chose to save the resources instead. As far as total stats, Lucan has 66,000 health, 3,100 defense, 178 speed, 99% crit, 250% crit damage, and the other stats do not matter. Now that we've gone over the champions, let's go over some few quick tips for the Nightmare clan boss. This can apply to Ultra Nightmare, Brutal, whatever difficulty you're on. One important thing that a lot of people don't realize is the speed of the Demon Lord is not what it seems. If you need 171 speed to go before the Demon Lord on Nightmare difficulty, that means 171 speed is what you need to go first when the Demon Lord has a full turn meter. That is not the speed of the Demon Lord himself. This means you can drop up to 20 speed per champion to stay in sync with his abilities per round. So I can be running 150 speed and really beef up the rest of my defensive stats if I wanted to with this double counterattack team. Same thing applies for Ultra Nightmare, for example. You need 191 speed to go before the Ultra Nightmare clan boss. However, the current comp I'm running now at 171 to 179 speed still works in Ultra Nightmare. The clan boss does go first right off the bat. Then I start organizing my cooldowns and I just hit auto, and this team has the capability of doing 32 to 39 million damage in Ultra Nightmare. For obvious reasons, I used all of these legendaries because they are very strong at what they do and arguably the best at what they do. So the way I built the speed for my team is I have Alton going last at 170 speed. I want him to always be the target of the slam no matter what. The slam target is picked based on threat. The way the threat system works is the clan boss looks at if the target is killable, that increases threat. Defensive based champions create higher threat than attack and support based champions. The amount of buffs on the champions reduce threat, so the lower amount of buffs you have, the more threat that champion is creating against the clan boss, which is why I have Alton the slowest. He has the fewest amount of buffs on him on the slam round, guaranteeing that he is going to get slammed every time no matter what, unless the clan boss is under 50% and the affinity is clashing with his. As far as Draco morph goes, I have Draco and Lucan both at the same speed. It isn't optimal at the moment, however, this is the best I could do in the time I had to make the video. Ideally, I would want Draco morph to go first. Any champion that provides a debuff like defense down on weaken be the highest speed on your roster unless you have someone cleansing the stun. An example of a champion that cleanses a stun would be a Doom Priest or a Battle. They would be first in the rotation of any clan boss team. I elected to put Valkyrie at 172 speed, Martyr at 171 speed. Due to having double counterattack, the speeds of the two counterattack champions don't matter as much unless you're using a Skull Crusher. Using a Skull Crusher, you want your tanky champions to go after Skull Crusher, and your not as tanky champions, like your attack-based champions, to go before. Taking stress off of Skull Crusher after the second round, when his unkillable comes off on the counterattack, you want the two attack-based champions to stay under the ally protection, and you want the two tankier defensive champions to have the ally protection debuff off. So they're putting less strain on Skull Crusher, since they can more likely than not mitigate the damage themselves. Another point is, as you can see, I'm not using lifesteal gear on any of these champions. This even applies through Ultra Nightmare. I do have immortal gear sets on some of the champions, but Lucan's heals are enough to keep the entire team topped throughout the duration of the fight. One really important piece of information that I like telling people is a perfectly balanced clan boss team, in my opinion, can be determined by one factor, and it is how the clan boss battle ends. If your fight is ending because someone is dying to a slam, as I said, in my opinion, you have the perfectly balanced clan boss team. Dying to an AoE means either there was an unlucky crit, or the defensive stats do not align between all of your champions, whether it's defense or health combined. So a really good benchmark to look for when you're improving your Nightmare, Brutal, Easy, Ultra Nightmare team is try to have the wipe condition for a champion being killed by the slam. As you can see from the finish screen, we finished off at 52,670,000 damage dealt to the Nightmare clan boss. Damage breakdown is 10 million from Alton, 17 from Draco, 7.2 from Valk, 8.4 from Lucan, and 9.5 from Martyr. The average threshold of damage for this team comp is 49 to 57 million damage, based on extra turn procs from Dracomorph, lowering the cooldown on its poisons, crit rate on all 5 of the champions, and to compare this to Nightmare, the threshold for damage on Nightmare is 33 million damage to 39 million damage per key. Alright guys, thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is the first one of this kind that I've done. If you want to see more, please let me know. I'm going to continue uploading the Champion Spotlight videos, and I have a couple more videos up my sleeve that I really think you as the community will enjoy. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content, leave a comment below giving me your thoughts on what I'm doing now. Until next time, my friends, peace out.